here at the launch of the Workplace Equality Index 2016, which is Ireland's benchmark for LGBT inclusive companies. One of the areas last year was the private sector outperformed the public sector quite significantly. So it's really important in terms of the critical role that public sector organisations play in Ireland, that they are LGBT inclusive, both for the people who work for them and for the people who benefit from their services. So we had some great inputs today from An Garda Síochana and other public sector organisations who are really committed to ensuring that they are good places to work and that they can learn from models of best practice both within the public sector and the private sector. So that's certainly one key area for us, is around the public sector. It's really important to us that the benchmark is actually a framework or a roadmap for many companies who, like some of the companies today, who are very much at a learning curve, who haven't been strong on LGBT diversity and inclusion heretofore, but understand that it's an important part of their diversity and inclusion agenda, and the index includes a whole set of actions and directions and pointers for organisations, be it in terms of involving leadership within the organisation, in terms of getting our policies right, in terms of training, and in terms of supporting LGBT visibility within the organisation. So it's a very practical, a very grounded benchmark, and we provide feedback to all participants with very clear metrics and data on performance, both in terms of areas where they've done well and targets for improvement.
About 60% of our employees in EY are with EY in Ireland for less than 2 years. So we have a very high rate of new joiners, particularly because we're growing so much at the moment. And really what the index does for us is it gives us that platform to talk to people and continue the conversation. So when we think about what does it give us other than just an award on the shelf, it gives us the ability to attract those new people, to tell them, in the outside world exactly who we are and what we stand for. They know what type of environment they're coming into. But it also, again, it allows us to shine that light on the things that we need to improve on. For me, when I talk about actually making change, it's about looking at the culture of EY. And that's about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. So we all have a values statement about doing the right thing, but do you know what doing the right thing looks and feels like? So when you're sitting in a meeting and you're making decisions about something which could potentially impact on somebody's life, you've actually got to try and turn the tables or encourage people to turn the tables and say, well, how will that impact me if I were a gay employee in EY? Does that feel like it's the same outcome as it is for the straight employee? And so one of the things that we're doing, working with the HR teams and working with our business leaders, is using our, I suppose, subject matter expertise to help them understand that the decisions they have make consequences, and helping empower them to make those decisions. So yeah, it's all about culture. It's not about the piece of paper in the file.
Well, the index is a very comprehensive list of things, everything sort of from policy to visibility to the kinds of things that will demonstrate to both our public externally and our employees internally that we are committed to equality and diversity, and that is so critical for our organisation. We have a little bit of catching up to do, but we're very confident that we can, and we're very committed to doing so. And I think this is making a statement about work we had done anyway with communities generally in around hate crime external to the organisation, and now we're taking some of the learnings inside and making certain that we're the inclusive organisation that we should be.
So applications are open as of today. Companies and individuals can log on to workplaceequality.ie, download the application form and the completion guide, and get cracking. The closing date for submission is the 30th of June, and the winners will be announced in September.